what I was gonna say.
Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Could we stand for the pledge of allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I look for a motion to approve today's agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? I look for a motion to approve the minutes for November 18th.
I'll make such motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meetings attended, Scott?
So I had a Russ meeting last week, and just kind of went over financials, everything's good there. Bruce did inform me that Louisa County's fees will be going up next year. He didn't have any dollar amount, but he said they will go up.
This budget upcoming budget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they kind of went over House File 706. So I guess that's a new House file. There's mandatory training for any new appointees or elected officials. And they wanted to know how to handle the certification that you've completed that course. So they're just going to rely on the home county to do the training and then provide a copy of the certificate.
Jacob's kind of been following up on that with his department, and I think Adam's gonna do a course.
I talked to Parsons yesterday and he's working on getting certified.
Yeah, it sounded like it was just for anybody newly appointed on a board.
Eventually, everyone's gonna have to go through it eventually. You may be able to dodge it a couple of times, but
Yeah,
you're better off just going, if you're in the capacity that we're at, or
yeah,
some of your boards, you're better off just going through it and getting it done.
yeah.
Full house.
So and then also Friday late, guys just called me and had the semi done for the transfer station. So Saturday morning I picked up our driver and got it, and then we took the truck back to Berry, got that taken care of, and then I talked to the Farm Service LP guy, and he said if the tank was below 30%, they could put a transport in there. So I went out and made sure it was at 18, so I went ahead and told him to go ahead and bring a transport.
Good. Awesome.
So that was pretty much it. Good.
Great. Kevin?
I had a community action meeting, pretty much, the usual down there. And then I also, had a meeting with, the City Valley Workforce. We're doing quite a bit of meetings, online signing and that kind of stuff with this merger that's going on, so I got another one today with them, so. Other than that,
I had a meeting with early childhood development, kind of business as usual, but a lot of the meeting, again, centered around the redistricting. And we really don't have a clear direction yet, but it's got a lot of people stirred up, so we're trying to work our way through that. I did have a meeting out at the complex with Brandon and Susie. We have a water issue out there we've been trying to work on. A lot of lime deposits within the dishwasher, and it's kind of tearing the dishwasher up. I did make contact with the water people, water softener people. They're gonna send us an estimate to change out all the media within the water softeners. And he said they're at their useful life. The media needs to be changed, so. When I get that, I'll present it, we'll figure that out. Hopefully that takes care of that problem. But we'll see, I guess. Public input. Anybody from the public want to address the board? Go ahead, you have the floor.
Hi, I'm Mallory Vance. I'm Kathy Vance's daughter. That's my claim to fame. I live in Mornington. And I'm here to give a report on the barn at the fairgrounds, because mom can't be here this morning. So first, The committee and the contractor received their flood permits from the DNR, so all of that's good. Second, Ranger Power, which is the solar company that is seeking a permit for the project east and west along 92. They have chosen the barn for their public service support. What that means is they are awarding the project $20,000 after Thanksgiving and another $40,000 when they receive their permit from the county. So if the permit could get approved, that'd be great. Just putting it out there. And finally, the foundation is ready to take on construction, and so framing is supposed to begin the first few days of December. If anybody has any questions, I can't answer them, but I can write them down, and Mom can answer.
Looks like it'll be ready for next fair. then.
Yeah, yeah, things are moving along very well.
Great,
That's it.
thank you. Anybody else? You sure? We'll move along then. Payroll changes I had two, look like the service increases.
Yeah, so then,
Review.
Item number 7 is discussion and action on the donated leave policy. We've talked about this off and on over the last several months, I guess. It was brought up mainly because we have a person here in Macomb County that has an ill child, and they were trying to take care of them, and they were using up a lot of their time. Susan's put a lot of effort into it. Her and I have talked about this in length. While I do feel very sympathetic about that situation or anyone in the future, it seems to be a very difficult situation to handle. And the reason is people donating between themselves, there's different rates of pay. Take for instance, Brandon's rate of pay and Tracy Lott's rate of pay. If Brandon wanted some time and Tracy donated to Brandon, you can't just do that across the board. So we talked about it, and I think the best way to make this happen is to say no. Every way you slice it, it's an accounting nightmare to do it dollar for dollar, and technically we're handling taxpayer funds, so just to hand stuff out willy-nilly really isn't a responsible thing to do, unless you guys have a better idea that I haven't come up with. It's just difficult. Now, if I guess an employee wanted to cash in some of their time and make it money and donate money, that would be something else that could be handled, but donating a day from one person to another just doesn't work.
are they allowed to cash in a day without?
No, I'm just throwing that out as the only way that could be handled, but that would have to be
It'd have to be vacation or comp.
right, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you get into another whole deal with that, so. Thoughts? I'm not trying to drive the bus here, I'm just
Well, it's
putting it out there.
kind of what I'd heard too from Susan, like the counting from one department to another department too.
Because roads is on their own budget. If people from there wanted to donate somewhere, it just makes your head spin after a while.
This has come up
I know,
for my length of tenure, which is 31 years, and I think the reason it's never been resolved is exactly what you're saying, and bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
And it's very unfortunate, but
so it's just to say no and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
not
not
that
with that, if we wanna look at some way to cash in some vacation or something in the future, that if we could use that for that, we can look into that issue and but for now,
yeah,
I'm on board with now.
and have no doubt that once this board's gone, then probably will be
it'll
brought up.
like,
Okay, motion to-
not do anything? Is that what you want?
Yeah, yes.
I guess we could do that. You wanna make a motion to,
Decline the.
yeah, there you go, decline the donated leave policy.
Well, we really never had one in place, so.
Well, true.
It was, from what I saw, it was, on an as needed basis
Yes.
or
Yeah.
something to that
Yeah.
effect. It was, something to that effect, I guess.
I just want something on the books that you guys would decline it.
Yeah.
Or I guess I can
Oh.
put it in a minute.
I'll make a motion that we decline trading sick time, so
Donated leave.
donating leave.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's talk about some trees.
Thank you.
Something a little more
Yeah, that's right.
exciting, so bloom.
Here, I got something for them. I'm gonna hop up.
I think Jacob's Kevin, you
I
kinda.
kind of working, had a bacon.
I'm just a supporter.
We'll take all the support we can. Sarah.
Have a good thing for us. Actually, I'll explain what paper I'm saying. So Kevin and I met yesterday, in the courthouse lawn. And we decided that the courthouse could handle 2 to 3 new trees to replace the cottonwood and, some maple trees, yeah, that we lost. The idea was, I just threw this map together, just to give you like a rough idea of where they wanna go. We thought maybe a red oak between the two, the blue trees are the ones that we removed. Or the blue stars, I'm sorry, are the trees we removed. And so we considered a red oak kind of between them, a swamp white oak closer to the road. The swamp white probably won't get as big as the red oak. In general, yeah. And then the perhaps chance of a river birch, maybe. But if that's the case, then there's an existing red bud there that's in the lawn that would probably get heavily shaded out. And so then perhaps cut down, it's literally this big, like a logger would take it. So it's not really a tree at this point, but we didn't plant it, so I don't wanna stop somebody else's dream of a red bud tree, so. I also, I've been talking with Stone King. He's our provider at this point. He's the number I was given. He does have a red oak, he does have a swamp white, but he doesn't have a river birch. The river birch he does have is split in 3 ways from the base. And I don't really, not for a yard tree. Some people can do it inside like a mulch bed, but
Yeah.
you don't wanna manage that. Anyway, so then I was considering other places where we could find one. I went and did some looking, couldn't find any that were suitable for a yard tree. So we could just totally exnate that, and then the red bud lives.
Is that the same as a white birch?
There's a lot of different types of birches. River birch is the one that has the shaggy bark.
Okay, the white birch has the ones that it's white that peels back.
Yeah, and river birch does that a little bit, at least. But once they get mature, this is my fight for the river birch. Once they get mature, the bark on the base is like a normal tree, but then all the flakiness is up there, so it looks better. But anyway, at this point, I can't find a river birch anyway, so it's kind of.
You know, it's kind of neat. We've got quite a variety of different trees over there. It's nice to have that.
They are $400 a tree. If we did 2 trees, it'd be $800. And then there's a $75 charge to come dig the first hole, because you gotta drive from where it is to go get the hole to go get a tree, and then, yeah. So if we went with 2 trees, or if you went with 2 trees, which is, I think, where we kind of stand at this point, it would be a total of $875. And they are 3-inch or 3.5, 2.5 to 3.5 inch diameter at our site, so. Or a 12-foot tree, 10-foot tree.
All the property we have, we don't have a river birch around.
Not one that's not growing in other river birches, because when you get a bunch of trees that all grow together, they go really tall and spindly. And while it may look good, initially it wouldn't look very good. It'd be all weird and funny.
So if you're not gonna put a river birch there, what are we gonna put anything in that spot?
We don't need to. It's grass at this point. 100% could next year or next fall. If we, keep walking around and trying to find a river birch that'll make the cut, and then we can even groom it in a way, like get some stuff around it so that way it starts growing.
Yeah.
It could be a fun little project, I think.
Yeah.
But this would be just this year, like, hey, we just cut down some trees, let's put them back.
Yeah. So we wanna move forward with the red oak and the swamp oak, white oak? I'm sure. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think so. I've also had an email from Kurt Harley that said he believed he had people wanting to donate toward this.
Tell them to find a river bird.
I'll trigger one single river bird, not everybody.
So, but I didn't get any details from him, so
Okay.
I will follow up on
Well,
that.
let's leave that little spot open then and
Yeah,
we'll let them do their thing.
we can leave that existing red bud there for now.
Yep.
It needs to trend up.
Yeah, it's only this tall, I mean, it's
It's
very.
gonna be a bush if we don't trim it.
Yeah, it does need some love.
Okay,
I don't think I have any more information. If you guys do proceed though, I can do an 811 for
Okay.
existing utilities that they know of. But any utilities on our property, they usually don't find. They just do public properties.
Okay.
So you guys might need to find someone that would come and like run fiber optic line. Or like hook up to each end and see where it goes to the property. I'm pretty sure that there's a line that goes from here to there. If I've heard right, so. I don't know how much that costs or who does that offhand, but that would be a
the
responsibility.
one call doesn't handle that.
I don't know if they do everything on private
I would
property.
know on private property, just the right of ways. So anywhere from the sidewalk to the road, they take care of all that.
But anything run across the middle of the yard, which is where the trees are.
We could ask the city. They
Oh, the outfit that I
probably
called come and
then
did-
find the water line, they wouldn't argue with you.
The outfit that I called come and went all the way across my property, looking for stuff. So
That's usually when we do field tile, they come out and they, like I had some electric lines went underground, they marked them all the way across the field.
Okay, maybe they do, yeah, and
mark them out of our shop and we have stuff done.
good, all right.
I would guess,
It's durable.
yeah, if it's run through there, I would think that they would mark it, but
Okay, we did a project at Chinkopin and they didn't, so.
Yeah,
Well,
well, in my property when they trenched through my power, so.
yeah, 50/50. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll do the 811 and see if it works, and if not, then I'll reach out.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there any other responsibilities you need from me? I can call Stone King and set this up.
Okay,
I can flag the yard kind of where we think they're gonna be and avoiding roots.
okay,
Anything else from me?
I don't think so.
No, we just need a motion to move forward with 2 trees.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with the 2 trees from Michael Stone King. To be placed by Jacob
I'll second.
for $875.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
All right,
Aye. Motion carries.
And I will check
Thank you.
with Kurt and see about that.
I'll call Mike and
I
get
don't
you
know if somebody
one.
like want to put their name on one or what, you know, what, I don't.
thanks.
Yes.
Okay, item number 9. Is on the agenda to appoint Mr. Howard as our fiscal year 27 weed commissioner. If he wants to do it again.
Yeah,
I don't want to force it on anybody.
yeah,
I'll make a motion to appoint Michael Howard as fiscal year 27 weed commissioner.
And I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations.
Weeds are shuddering out there.
oh, yeah.
Keep up the good work. We appreciate it. Mr. Marlette, we got some monthly update for us.
Yes. November 13th, I finished my last 4 the 4 EMA certifications. That's required by the state, so now it's just 24 hours online, which I have until February of 27 to get that done, so another 15, 16 months to get that all done. I've been kind of talking with Susan. I didn't realize that the panic alarms at the courthouse are under FIRMAR. I do have a possible bid coming in from electronic engineering for how our old panic alarms were. There was with the push button. They still have the push button, but now the push button goes to Permar. Permar calls the sheriff's office, the sheriff, so there's about, in my opinion, a 3 to 5 minute delay
I'm
if
glad,
there's an emergency going on.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we've had a button upstairs in the clerk of courts, and I'm on the call list. And there was a couple of weekends that I got calls, and I thought, I'm the one to call if the holdup button gets called. Really? I mean, why are you calling me? Those people are the ones you should be calling.
So the new system, I don't have a price yet. They sent me a quote, but they didn't quote it right because they didn't put county roads in it, they didn't put public health in it, they didn't put the annex in it. So I wanna make sure those are on it, but these are just a 1 second delay, though, you know, there's an emergency in the or supervisor's room, however we wanna program
And
it.
then it'd be the dispatch or you guys to determine whether or not it's a valid.
Right,
It's not up to me
No.
to determine if it's.
so once I get those in, I'll get them to Susan
I
and she can
appreciate that.
get it to you. I did get awarded a $4,000 community foundation grant. I'm gonna go purchase a couple generators, light towers. You know, if public health has a emergency or something, we can have generator, we can have light towers, things of that nature, so I'll store those out at the sheriff's office. I've been working on the EMA and E911 budgets. Again, you know, we need to try and put a little bit of something into these budgets or to the EMA budget every year for this hazardous mitigation plan in case FEMA does away with this in 5 years. I mean, I don't know if they will, but there's always that chance that they're going to. Might hold off until next year to start that, but we'll see. And then that hazardous mitigation plan, it's up and going with Southeast Iowa Regional Planning. I'm just waiting to hear what our next steps are. We'll probably have some public planning meetings. So one of you guys from the board will be a part of that, and then, you know, probably Brandon and some superintendents and community members and things like that, so.
Are the cities involved with that too?
Yeah, the mayors, I think, are involved in that as well, so once I get that.
Yeah.
Once I know what that looks like. Then we're just waiting for the snow. That's it.
Yeah,
Can't wait,
that's a 4-letter word.
can't wait.
Okay, we'll move on to our local libraries. Hello, ladies.
Hello. I know it says Luann, but I'm Amy from the Library of Morning Sun, and I get to be spokesperson for the city.
Okay, thank you.
So we want to start with libraries are so much more than we do.
Could you go to the podium that way
Sorry.
that people online can hear you?
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
So libraries, so much more than what the old term would be. We do more than books. We're a huge service and, lots of things that we're doing. My library just partnered with the conservation and we got a grant from the community foundation that we're going to do storybook adventures, because it'll be locally sourced and not through the Storywalk company. We're going to keep the money in the county, have the podiums made, and they will be at the Hoover Nature Trail Morning Sun, and we're going to put one at Virginia Grove. We're putting one at Chicopee. And so we're working together on that. Mandy is working on, she got a grant from the community foundation. We're going to do a 250-year celebration that promotes Louisa County. You will get a passport, you'll go around, you'll do certain things, you'll get a stamp when you come visit the library. Fun things like that. Luann just did for the community foundation, libraries are 3rd place. And that means you have home, you have work, and then you come to the library. We're so much more than what you would expect when you hear library. We do things like Mandy helps with citizenship. Morning Sun Library does a whole bunch of outreach. I just did a report for my library board last night. We have done 107 programs for this fiscal year. So since the beginning of July, 107 programs with 1,553 in attendance for the first half of the year. So much more. We have not had a budget increase from you guys in several years. So this is our annual time we come before you do your budget. We ask, could we please have a little bit more money? So times are tough. Everything's expensive. Things are more expensive for us. So that's what we're asking. And you have in front of you our stats and what you can see. If you look at our numbers, huge numbers, like for every resident, his for our numbers visited the library twice for the county. You have any questions for us?
I want you to look too at what we saved the
Mhm.
people in the county. By just borrowing books. If they were to go out and buy those, that's what it would cost them.
We are a huge service to the counties and we all work together well. We depend on each other.
Thank you. I've had
Thank you.
the pleasure to be in several of your libraries and they're wonderful. So if people haven't been there, I encourage them to do it. There's a lot of stuff, not just like you said, books, there's a lot of other things in them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. After 12, this is kind of a unique thing we have here. I'm sure everyone's aware that we had quite a deal here a couple of weeks ago within the county. With I think he was guilty, but at this point it's
Murder, double murder suspect.
suspect. I think that's best way to say that. I have a letter here that was presented from Sheriff Jason Teetle from the Brown County Sheriff's Office in Minnesota. I'd like to read this first, so everybody kind of gets a handle on where we're at here. First of all, a huge thank you to everyone for your roles in the apprehension of the suspect in the double homicide which happened in Hanska, Minnesota on Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. Everyone did the job they signed up to do, trained to do, and were expected to do, and did it well. Knowing what events took place earlier that day and knowing the risks involved, you chose to run towards the threshold of danger where others flee. You and your agencies played a crucial role in providing some closure to a portion of the tragic events that happened earlier that day in Hanska, Minnesota, and steps towards justice. If it had to be done all over again, I would want the same people in the same positions, and I would expect the same successful outcome. On behalf of the Hanska community, the county of Brown, and the men and women that make up the Brown County Sheriff's Office, we want to thank you for your actions in the apprehension of the double homicide suspect. You have represented your community, your sheriff's office, and yourself to a high level of character and professionalism. Signed, Sheriff Jason Seal. And I have some certificates to provide to some of the people that were involved. We'll take a picture here. I have one for dispatcher Delaney Parrish. Thank you, Delaney. One for Sergeant David Norcross and one for the K-9 Deputy Mitch Griffin, which I don't think's here.
He's with this toddler this morning.
Okay. So, have some, we'd like to have them come forward, we'll with some pictures. Thank you very much. I'm not Mitch, but.
Can I get one of this picture?
You guys want to get it? Why don't you go behind them?
And I'm gonna take a picture, so Jim.
Stand right here in front of us, push that chair down.
Let me out.
Come on, boys. Don't be shy. This is part of what your job entails.
Can you just send that to me, Brandon?
Yeah, sure can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
You guys.
I want to take a moment and say thank you to you.
Yeah, I'll add to it.
There's quite a story involved.
It
This
is.
guy was a bad guy and. Go ahead.
Yeah. He killed 2 people in Minnesota. Exactly 12 hours later, he was found by a camera system, license plate recognition system in Washington, where a deputy didn't give up trying to find him, came all the way over to Columbus Junction. We got involved. Before we even turned on the lights, the suspect took off, and we took over the chase knowing the county better, and Mitch took over the chase. We got just a little bit north of Let's where the suspect pulled a shotgun out of the window and shot at Deputy Griffin and the deputies that were Dave was directly behind as well. At that time, we used force. We tried to take him out. First time he went into the ditch, he popped out somehow, like Dukes of Hazzard. I don't understand it. Little car, two-wheel drive car. Went through Letts to the north, went in Muscatine County, started to come back around on a gravel road, nearly struck a pedestrian vehicle, and he decided to try to turn right, and Mitch completely ended it by taking the vehicle out. He went in the ditch, came out with a shotgun. He decided to toss the shotgun down. That same shotgun was used in the murders. So Dave and I took that night as evidence and got that back to Minnesota. He's been extradited. There was a chase Dave was involved in the field where he was tasered and taken into custody, and there were no injuries other than a totaled vehicle. So it was a win situation for us. Justice is served. Extradition went well, and he is in Minnesota facing his charges. He could face charges here, but he is likely going to do life in prison up there. So it was a extraordinary video that will eventually be released once they're done with their investigation. But they did a fantastic job. Most people would back up and stay far away, and Mitch and Dave and the rest of the crew, Muscatine County, Washington County, our dispatcher did a heck of a good job. And Emily, who was helping her, a trainee, was logging everything and doing everything in the background. It was a phenomenal job by all. It couldn't have went any better, I guess. This is based on the situation. The guy is extremely dangerous person. So again, thank you guys.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
In a county of 10,000 people.
They seem to find our county.
I know, I don't understand. Well, they can't hide in this county clearly, so
No,
thank you to everyone involved. We appreciate it.
thank you.
Okay, well, that was exciting. Now what's left is adjourned, I guess. Unless somebody else has something to add. Anybody want to add anything before I adjourn? Nope. Motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.